Hey guys, welcome to this video. A lot of you guys asked me how I mapped my K2 controllers with Traktor, and in this video I want to explain what function I use and how it works. In the first part I explain how it works with one K2 controller. In the second part how I map Traktor with two K2 controllers, and in the third part I will show you a little bit of the machine MK3 from Native Instruments, which I use for some instruments in my DJ setup. And yeah, if you like this video, give me a like. If you have questions, you can contact me on Instagram, or you can ask me down the comment section. And if you don't have subscribed to my channel and you don't miss my monthly techno session. Yeah, enjoy the video, and I will say let's start. One thing, many of you ask me what monitor I use in front of my DJ mixer. It's just a simple portable monitor which I buy on Amazon for 100 euro or something, but it was not expensive. The monitor has a size of 14-inch. I cannot link you the monitor because it doesn't exist anymore on Amazon, but there's a lot of another monitor you can buy, and there's a lot of another size you can choose for yourself. But I personally, for me, 14-inch, it's enough to see whole Traktor, and it fits the size of the mixer, and I think it's yeah, it's the perfect size for my personal DJ setup. Okay, let's start with part 1, mapping for one K2 controller. For the easy explanation, I will say we just concentrate on this row here. This is deck A, because all other channels are mapped the same way, and I think it's enough to explain just one row. And we start here at the bottom with these two controllers, encoders, sorry. These two encoders are for browsing in the playlist and playlists. This left one, you can scroll down to the playlist you choose, and with the right one down the playlists which you have here on the left. If you want to load a track in a deck, you have to push this button here, and you can see Traktor loads the track in the deck, set a loop of 4 bar, and starts running. You can also map that just the Traktor just load the track in the deck and nothing happens and you have to push play. But I like it more when the track starts running and I set a loop of 4 bar. As you can see here, this button are the play and pause button. This button here is the sync on button. All tracks are synced on the same BPM, in my case 144 BPM. This is the delayed loop button. With this button I can delay the loop, and on the top here I can set the loop. And when I scroll this encoder here, I can lengthen the loop up to 32 bars and short the loop. I can also, with the same encoder, move the loop, but I don't have too much space here. This is the reason because I mapped a second layer on this controller. You can set up to 3 layers on this controller and configure up to 128 configurations. This is a lot, but I need a second layer just for one function. And if you want to go in the second layer, you have to push this button here, and then you can scroll with the same encoder and move the loop down and up the track, as you can see. And when you go back to the first layer, deactivate this button here. That's the loop section. Now we come to the effect section, the effect section 1. And with this knobs here on the top, I can choose different effects. I don't use many effects. I don't use often effects in my sets. That's the reason because I have not much effects here. I have here a ramp delay, a delay, flanger and a beat measure. That's enough for me. I got a reverb which is sent from the send and return with a guitar pedal from Boss here. And yeah, that's it. This is the dry and wet fader, as you can see. And these two knobs are for the effect section on the right from deck A. I think that's the same effect section like the Pioneer mixer with his beat effect section under the equalizer, if you know what I mean. I think that it's the same. Also here different effects. And when I activate this effect, I push this button here and choose the high and low pass. Yeah, and that's it. That's my mapping for one controller. As you can see, I don't have many functions here in Traktor. I have a really basic mapping. You can also choose beat jumps and tempo bands and all that stuff, but I don't need it. And with the mapping on two controllers, I have exact the same function, but I have more space on two controllers. So now we have activate the mapping for two controllers. As I said, the functions are all the same, but I have more space to distribute the effects. And the encoders are all the same. Yes, with the left one you scroll down to the playlist you choose, and with the right one to the playlist on the left. But in this case, when you push this encoder, the left encoder, you will load the track in deck A or deck 1, and with this right encoder you load the track in deck 2, deck 3 and deck 4. These buttons here are all the play and pause button. These are the sync button, and here you can choose the effects which I explain with one controller. Got here the ramp delay, the delay, flanger and beat measure. You got here the dry and wet, and with this encoder you can activate the loop, length the loop, short the loop. With this encoder you can move the loop and deactivate the loop. If you deactivate the loop, this button turns red for a visual signal that you don't have a loop running. I activate the loop again. And these two knobs here are all the same with the beat effect section. Yes, you can choose here the effects. You can activate, hit effect, and you can choose the high and low pass. Yeah, and that's it. That's all the functions. You can map more functions with two controllers. As I said, I don't need more functions for my DJ setup, because if you're running up to 4 decks or maybe 5 decks or 5 channels, you have a lot to do. And in my opinion, you have to keep your mapping very simple. And yeah, in my opinion, you don't, or for me, I don't need more functions. I can play very good with this setup. I would say we go now to the machine from Native Instruments, and I show you a little bit how I play or how how I include the Maschine MK3 in my DJ setup. Yeah, we have here the Maschine MK3 from Native Instruments, a very powerful controller from Native Instruments, but I just use it for playing some different instruments in my DJ setup, maximum 5% from this powerful instrument. But for me it's enough. I give you an example. I have here different banks with different instruments. In the first bank I have different open hi-hats. A little bit louder. In the second band I have some closed hi-hats. In the third some rides. Oops. And crash, different crash. In the fourth different claps. In the fifth bar different snares, and in the last bar I have a 16 ride running. I show you. This bar is always running. The other banks are stopped, but this is always running. Yeah, I'm inspired by Speedy J. He uses this 16. I don't know if you use a ride, but I just use a ride. Yeah, thank you Speedy J for this inspiration. And yeah, I give you an example how can it works. I got here a track running. Both programs, the Maschine 2 software and the Traktor, are linked. That means they are completely synced. And yeah, we set an open hi-hat in the offbeat. Here's another banks. I make volume down. And yeah, I'll show you. As you can see, the open hi-hat is running. Then I choose some different closed hi-hat. Some ride. Can also make some 16, have a note repeat function here. I do it with a clap. Yeah, and that's it. This is for what I use the Maschine MK3. I like to play some different instruments, and yeah, it's a really cool thing. This setup is inspired by Chris Liebing, but he uses two K2 controllers with different functions, also mapped with the Maschine 2 software. But I use only one K2 controller. It's enough for me, and it's let keep the equipment very quiet. And yeah, I hope you like this video. And as I said, if you have questions, you can contact me on Instagram, or write a question down below in the comment section. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will say we see us in the next Traktor session. Peace out.